and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw today, remember, announced that semiconductor manufacturer Micron, which is setting up its plant in India, will roll out first chip in the country by December this year. Giving an example of Micron, Vaishnaw said that Micron facility has moved ahead so fast and everyone has been pleasantly surprised. Ashwini further said that the agreement was signed back in June of 2023. The construction started in September of 2023 and the first made in India chip will be rolled out in December of this year. How and far we have come as far as India's strides in semiconductor mission is concerned and its own ability to manufacture its own chip. Let's talk about that. Ashok Chandak, President of IESA, joining us at this point. Ashok, thank you very much for taking time out, sir. Micron's success is something that perhaps many other companies in India and NVIDIA could also perhaps emulate going forward. First chip by end of this year. Does that timeline look even feasible?
My view is it is definitely on the fast track. Even as soon as the project was announced, within 90 days, the all construction, every activity has started. Obviously, these are a very long gestation project, so it's always tough and challenging to complete everything within 9 months or 1 year time. But what I understand from the statement from Minister as well as the activities of Micron, it is definitely on a fast track. So whether it is a December 24 or January, I think it does not matter. From my perspective, it is a major milestone. It is getting execution done on a so fast track basis is very, very, very encouraging and very important from the overall semiconductor policy for the country. So I would say that this is a very, very important good news, which is moving forward. And second thing, what you mentioned, what Micron has done, it is the first breakthrough, I would call, and this is a major game changer activity within the semiconductor industry. And many more such announcements are happening parallelly, more to happen. And India is becoming a very clearly attractive destination for the electronics and semiconductor manufacturing. So this is very, very important breakthrough actually.
Hi, good evening. If I can come in here, I'm Karthik. I want to understand from you, what should be India's priority right now when it comes to the overall semiconductor industry? Should India look at manufacturing of semiconductors, which Micron is doing and which even Foxconn has been in talks with Vedanta, which did not go through, which Tata Sons is investing in, with Hiranandani Group is investing in? Or should India's focus be more on the designing of semiconductors and providing semiconductor-based solutions as part of our already very, very highly evolved and respected IT services industry? Examples there being HCL and Infosys's latest acquisition of Insemi, and HCL now saying it is in partnership with Foxconn looking at design and looking at R&D and assembly. What needs to be India's priority, manufacturing or design?
My view is India's priority has always been design so far. However, what we are looking at a future scenario, which is design-led manufacturing, and this is very important. Look at the electronics market itself. It is growing to $300 billion in India by 26-27, and large part of that is being supplied through semiconductors.
Okay.
And semiconductors should not be seen as only an electronic chip design. Mind you, semiconductor manufacturing involves chemical industry, it involves a lot of logistics, it involves the gases, and it involves the wire bonding and other stuff. Right. So holistically, if you look at, this industry is going to enable several additional industry elements. And looking at the global semiconductor industry, which is going to grow to almost $1 billion by 2030, that means out of that, about $400 billion will be raw materials, gases, and chemicals. Okay. So if we develop the semiconductor industry, I think our guys are able to export to the global counterparts. Okay. And this is where I would like to see the big picture. I know that many times people think semiconductor may not be a priority, but to me, it is strategically very, very important for our country. Okay. And not only that, it is important to look at a more long haul. You have to look at a 10 years and 20 years time frame going forward. And you have to see how this enables the other industry sectors as well, so that it contributes not only our domestic consumption, but also gets into kind of exports. All right. And also, to be noted is, India has been traditionally import intensive on semiconductor and electronics. And you see that last 3 years, the electronics have changed. So now we are becoming more export intensive on electronics. Similar thing are on card, I would say, for a semiconductor perspective as well. So in 5 to 7 years time frame, you would see that we will start exporting semiconductors in a big way. and the chemicals and gases and other parts also. We should not forget that.
Right. So 76,000 crore rupees, which is the government's outlay as incentive for the semiconductor industry. Mr. Chandak, do you see any increase in that outlay in the budget that the finance minister is likely to present on the 1st of Feb?
I think my view is first priority should be to get this 76,000 crore itself assigned and consumed. Because
How much
right now
of it
we
has
have
been
seen
consumed,
only one
sir?
announcement.
Could you share some figures with us? To what extent has the budget been consumed so far?
No, I think only Micron announcement has been concretely approved and moved on. That's about maybe 13 to 15% of the total, roughly around that. So there is still plenty of amount which.
All right. I think what Mr. Chandak was saying, that there's a lot of amount which is still up for grabs.
And just 13 to 14%
Just 13,
of
14% has been
76,000
consumed
crores
by
has been consumed.
Micron.
Right.
So other applicants,
But we
of
have
course,
seen
would be
other
likely.
applications as well, Allied Materials being one of them, and now all these joint ventures that are getting formulated and signed between HCL and Foxconn.
HCL and Foxconn,
so that
yes.
should also, to my mind, be part of some sort of an incentive for the semiconductor
And that
industry.
incentive perhaps will flow on from the semiconductor mission plan that India has set out. There is an outlay there up for grabs, but JVs are still being formed. Micron has been successfully able to get a share of that pie. India semiconductor story unfolding itself. First chip perhaps likely to come by the end of this year.